Do you suffer from carpal tunnel syndrome? Maybe you've had surgery and still have to wear the braces on your wrist or both wrists. The pain seems to keep coming back. You may be facing another surgery. Today, I'm going to give you 3 things you can do that could help stop that carpal tunnel pain from coming back and prevent it from being there ever again in your life. Oh yeah, don't forget, please subscribe down below, ring the bell, always leave comments, and stay tuned. Welcome back to the Muscle Repair Shop. My name is Butch Phelps. I'm a functional massage therapist, and today we're going to talk about carpal tunnel syndrome. What is it? Is it something that only surgery can fix? Or are there things I can do to solve that problem? So what is carpal tunnel syndrome? Well, when you look at your wrist, you have a tunnel on your wrist here called the carpal tunnel. Now you have one in the elbow too called a cubital tunnel, but today we're going to focus on the carpal tunnel. Through that tunnel runs 5 tendons that start up here at the elbow going into the belly of the muscle. You have 5 muscles going through the carpal tunnel, but they go out to each of your fingers here so you can close your hand this way. So during the day, you're using your hands all the time doing repetitive things. These muscles will get tight. Now the problem comes in that in this tunnel is a median nerve, and that median nerve then gets pressed as these tendons become inflamed from the repetitive use over and over again. When that happens, you typically feel pain in the thumb, the index finger, and the 3rd finger here. So when you go in to do a surgery, they may come in and take the pressure off, which is temporary at best. And what happens is we go back to our jobs, we go back to what we do, and what happens with that repetitive motion, it just comes right back. Now obviously we can't have surgery every week to keep it away, but what we can do is teach you what to do to prevent that pain from coming back again. And in some cases, if you haven't had surgery, it may actually cause the pain to disappear without even having the surgery. But today I want to talk about the 3 things here that we can do to help stop that pain. Now, number 1, you look at here the muscle, there's a thenar eminence that runs around the thumb here and drapes around from the index finger, and that allows you to grip things. Well, you have a muscle coming in here through this carpal tunnel from the thumb, allowing it to work as well. This area will get tight, and when it does, the thing you want to do here is you want to massage this to get this to be soft. Now I know for many of you, you feel this and you go, well, I can't tell if it's hard or soft. This is what it always feels like. And I get that because you don't get to feel people's hands all the time. But if you take your finger, you see I have my thumb here. I get a little bit closer. You can see I have my thumb there and my 3rd finger is underneath here. And what I'm doing is that I am just gripping and breathing out and allowing this to soften. If I press too hard, this will be so painful that my brain will cause this area here to tighten up on it. What I want is I want this to be able to soften so that as I stretch this area here on the stretch I'm going to show you, it will react better. Now, what makes it soften? If you press too hard, the brain's going to deem this as being unsafe, and it's going to contract the muscle to stop it so that the pain will stop. As you breathe out and you relax your body and your hand, you start to work in here gently, and you want to get to a point where you just start to feel it hurting. Stop there, maintain the pressure, breathe out, and allow this to soften up. As you work through this whole area, you'll find this whole area here to be nice and soft. Once you've done that, now we can stretch the webbing in here, and that's an easy thing to do. I just catch my fingers around my thumb here, catch my other thumb down at the base of this thumb, and I just gently pull as I'm stretching out the webbing right in here. So I will breathe out, hold that for 5 seconds, release it, and do it again 10 times. Now I can do it, I'm doing it in this angle so you can see it, but If I was at home, I might sit and do it like this as I'm sitting at home or in my office working on my hand. That starts to open up the webbing in here, and as it does, it takes the pressure off from here, freeing this muscle up coming down through the carpal tunnel to take the pressure off there. The second thing we can do is stretching out the muscles here. Now, I'm going to use a massage table, and this massage table is a little cushioned here, but what I'm doing is I'm turning my hand backwards. See how backwards it is here? And I'm just leaning into it, and you start to feel a stretch right down into here. Again, you're going to hold this for only 5 seconds. You're going to breathe out as you're stretching this, release it, and then come back and do it again. Now, as you get freer here, you can even take a step back and start to stretch this way, but I wouldn't advise starting off that way. Most of you won't even have a choice because it'll be too painful. But as you come down and you put your palm flat to the table, you will automatically start to stretch this out here to allow that to open right back up. The third thing, this is going to be a little bit easier. Make a light fist. You notice my elbow here is slightly bent. Make a light fist, and all I want to do is start to stretch down this way. Now, a mistake with some people I've seen doing this is that they leave their fingers straight and try to stretch here, and you can try that and you'll see there's a difference there. This here doesn't feel hardly anything compared to when I come here, come down with my fingers bent in a light fist, I can feel the stretch over here. Again, as I'm stretching, breathe out, hold that for the 5 seconds, and then release it, come back up, and again, do it 10 times. All we're doing is releasing the tension. And by releasing the tension, we have to let our brain see that this is a safe movement, that this is not going to cause a massive amount of pain, because if you have that fear, as I do this, the brain will contract the 5 muscles up here, going to my elbow out here. That's going to create a problem. Now, why is up here important when the carpal tunnel is underneath here? When I lift my arm this way, the muscles underneath my arm have to be free to let my hand come up. If I bring my hand here where I'm contracting, if these muscles here are tight, I have to overwork down here as I make this movement, which causes more inflammation in the wrist itself here at the carpal tunnel. Those are 3 things that you can do every day, and especially if you're doing things that are repetitive, you're working on a computer, or you're working in a factory someplace, anything that you're constantly doing the same thing over and over and over, I would be doing these every morning and every evening, and if you have a shot at it during lunchtime, I'd even do it during lunchtime as well. And what you'll find is that you'll start to get the movement back into your hands. You can add things like working on your fingers, stretching up this way, and I have another video on hand pain itself that I put out earlier this year that you can start to see how to do even more of these stretches with your hands. But I'm telling you, if you can do that and soften the muscles in here, your carpal tunnel will go away, and having it soft here into the forearms as well, you may not even need the surgery. And wouldn't that be a great thing to have happen here? I've seen this happen with many of my clients who come in with carpal tunnel syndrome, and most of them did not have to have the surgery and stop their carpal tunnel pain within a few days. So if you'll work it and you'll do it first thing every morning, last thing every evening, at the minimum every day, you can stop that pain. Now, if you continue doing it for the rest of your life, because of the nature of what you do in your life, you may prevent that pain from ever coming back as well. So if you enjoyed what I was talking about today, know somebody who may be interested or could help them as well, please always share it, but make sure you subscribe down below, ring the bell, leave comments, ask questions. In fact, I would love to hear from you, those of you with carpal tunnel. What are the things that you've tried and how successful has it been? And I'd be more than happy to hear and explore with you those options as well. So for now, see ya.